So reimagining governance is important, I think, from the staff's perspective, largely because of all the change that we've gone through over COVID. We've sort of had to rethink a lot of our programming, and then by virtue of rethinking our programming, needing to rethink the governance around that programming and how we've made decisions as an organization, as a board, in the past may and likely does not really reflect the realities on the ground as our programming has changed. And so I think it just sort of is a moment where there's a reflection point of let's rethink this from the ground up with an eye towards a new normal, a new set of normal guidelines that are governing our protocols, our programming, our delivery. And so that really triggered sort of the how do we reimagine it? How do we become more inclusive? How do we ensure that our community is being heard? And the intent is, if we're going to make long-term strategic planning decisions at the board table with regards to our operations and our facilities, we should probably involve our community members in in gathering insight and determining sort of how we might want to do that. I think that governance culture at the stop is attempting to be as open as possible. Perhaps in years gone by, it wasn't as open as it relates to the staff and as it relates to the management, but I think we're trying to change that. The stop has always included all its management in the board meetings, shared all discussion with management. So all management participates. They don't have to participate, but if they want to, they can, and they can see all the materials and they can participate in all the conversations. And we encourage that conversation with those management participants, so that it's not a board discussion, it's a stop discussion. Inclusiveness from a community perspective in the governance, inclusiveness from a staff perspective, even, and the transparency of, essentially decision making that's completely transparent to staff, community, clients, as well as any donor or any stakeholder. That's our ambition. How we get there, it'll take some time, I imagine. But I think the very first step that we're taking, which we've already taken, is to bring in committee members to our board committees that are not board members, that are community members or staff members who have an interest and an ambition to sort of participate and let them participate. So that's a small step. I mean, our governance committee, I think, or whatever we call it, we haven't really given it a name. I think it's more going to be a task force, but that committee is going to be made up of volunteers, committee members. We haven't got terms of reference yet. We're just going to sit down and start to draft that. But that group will be will be extremely very intentionally to ensure that we get a good cross section of ideas. Maybe changes. It could actually occur in terms of rethinking our process if a group of people are able to listen to each other, respect each other's views, and collectively decision make, such that at the end of that decision making, they feel that those decisions were well understood and accepted by everybody.